Have you ever heard of an island that's literally melting away? It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but for the people of Kefalina, it's a terrifying reality. This isn't just a story about ice and sea levels. It's a story about a community, a culture, and a home that's vanishing before our very eyes. Welcome to Kefalina, a tiny barrier island off the coast of Alaska, just 80 miles north of the Arctic Circle. For centuries, the Inupiat people have lived here, their lives intricately woven with the sea ice that surrounds them. They hunt seals, whales, and the caribou, a tradition passed down through generations. The ice has always been their shield, protecting their narrow strip of land from the harsh, powerful storms of the Chukchi Sea. But that shield is disappearing. The Arctic is warming at a rate almost 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. The sea ice that once formed in September now doesn't appear until late November or December. It's thinner, weaker, and it breaks up earlier in the spring. Without this natural barrier, the island is left vulnerable. Every storm chips away at their coastline, washing away precious land, homes, and the infrastructure. Imagine watching the ocean creep closer to your front door, year after year. The runway, their only physical link to the outside world, is constantly threatened. Their water supply is at risk of being contaminated by salt water. The very ground beneath their feet is eroding away. Scientists predict that Kefalina could be completely uninhabitable within the next decade. Think about that, a place that has been home to people for countless generations could be gone in just a few years. The people of Kefalina are often called America's first climate refugees. They didn't cause this problem, yet they are on the front lines, paying the highest price for a global issue. For them, climate change isn't a political debate or a future problem. It's a daily, existential threat. So, what happens now? The community has been fighting for relocation for decades. They voted to move in 1992, but moving an entire village is an incredibly complex and expensive task. Estimates range from $100 million to over $400 million. Where do you find the land? How do you build a new town from scratch in the harsh Arctic environment? And who pays for it? These are questions without easy answers, tangled in bureaucracy and a lack of funding. The residents have tried everything. They've sued major oil and energy companies, arguing that their greenhouse gas emissions contributed to the erosion that's destroying their home. While the lawsuits were ultimately dismissed by the courts, it brought international attention to their plight. It was a cry for help, a demand for accountability from a small community against some of the world's most powerful corporations. This isn't just about moving houses and buildings. It's about preserving a culture. The Inupiat way of life is tied to the specific place, to the patterns of the ice and the migration of the animals. Moving inland would mean leaving behind their ancestral hunting grounds and their deep connection to the sea. It's a loss that can't be measured in dollars. It's the potential loss of an identity. The story of Kefalina is a powerful, urgent warning. It's a real-time example of what climate change looks like for coastal communities around the world. From the Pacific Islands to the coasts of Bangladesh and Florida, millions of people are facing a similar threat. Kefalina is the canary in the coal mine, showing us what's at stake if we fail to act. Their struggle highlights a massive gap in international and national law. There's no more official legal status for climate refugees. There's no more established system to help communities forced to relocate due to climate impacts. The people of Kefalina are charting unknown territory, not just for themselves, but for the millions who will follow. It's easy to feel helpless when faced with a problem of this magnitude, but awareness is the first step. Understanding the human story behind the headlines is crucial. The people of Kefalina are not just victims. They are resilient, resourceful, and they have been adapting to a changing environment for generations. They are fighting for their future with incredible strength and dignity. Their story forces us to ask ourselves some tough questions. What responsibility do we have to communities like Kefalina? How do we ensure a just transition for those most affected by a crisis they did little to create? This isn't just about saving an island. It's about our shared humanity. The fate of this melting island is a reflection of our collective choices. The decisions we make today about energy, consumption, and policy will determine the future for countless communities on the front lines of climate change. The people of Kefalina are doing everything they can to save their home and their heritage. The question is, will the rest of the world listen before it's too late? Thank you for watching and for taking the time to learn about Kefalina. If this story moved you, please share it. The more people who know about this melting island, the more precious it will be to find real, lasting solutions. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that matter. See you next time.